The Cactus Hotel, stepping through the front doors and into its lobby, is like taking a step back in time. The year was 1926. West Texas was experiencing an oil boom. Commerce, farming, and ranching were also on the rise. The future looked bright for San Angelo. In the downtown area, grand office buildings were under construction, while fine new homes were being built along the Concho River. Record crowds were flocking to town, attending oil expositions and raising the demand for hotel rooms. In the midst of the local prosperity, Conrad Hilton recognized opportunities for expansion. His first Hilton Hotel in Dallas had been a success, so much so that he set a goal of opening one hotel a year across Texas. San Angelo made his list of prospective cities, along with Abilene, Waco, Lubbock, and El Paso. The San Angelo Hilton was opened shortly after the Abilene and Waco hotels, making it the fourth Hilton Hotel. This would never have been possible without the financial backing of San Angelo's own B.B. Hale, president and owner of West Texas Lumber Company. It cost him $1 million to build the hotel. He remained the owner of the building and leased it to Hilton. It's unclear how Hilton and Hale met. Perhaps the building's architect, Anton Franz Korn, introduced them to each other. Korn was well known in Dallas for building large public buildings, churches, and many substantial homes in Highland Park. In San Angelo, he was the architect on several projects, including the San Angelo National Bank building and the Tom Green County Courthouse. The San Angelo Hilton, with its impressive 14-story tower, was the most prominent structure he was associated with in town. When it opened on May 31st, 1929, it was Hilton's most ornate hotel to date. The people of San Angelo were convinced that something wonderful had happened when their Hilton was built. It was such a classy establishment, well-designed and elegantly furnished. The management of the hotel was experienced, and the building offered something for everyone. Rooms were filling up, and the hotel business was looking good. Then suddenly, a little more than 4 months after its opening, the stock market crashed, and the country entered into the Great Depression. Hilton was hit hard, and the fate of the hotel took an unexpected turn. In a desperate attempt to meet the financial obligations of running the San Angelo location, Hilton took out a loan. He borrowed money from a company based in Galveston that was controlled by the Moody family. Soon thereafter, he defaulted on his payments. A long legal battle ensued. Ultimately, it ended in Hilton losing his lease and the furniture, and the Moodys taking over the hotel. Along with new ownership came the need for a new name. A citywide contest was held, asking the public for suggestions. Lita Verge Sanders won $25 for her entry, The Cactus. Thus, the building was renamed and has remained The Cactus ever since. Under the ownership of the Moodys, The Cactus continued as a successful commercial hotel from the early 30s through the 50s, until it became a retirement center in the 60s. It was a hub of social and business activity and home to an eclectic cast of characters, both as staff and residents. Several successful livestock men made deals in their offices on the ground floor. Glamorous social events were held weekly. The ballroom hosted countless dances, proms, and weddings, in addition to smaller affairs, such as birthday parties, receptions, teas, bridge, and luncheons. The food was excellent. and the dining was first class. Sunday dinner was such a tradition that every week a line would form down Tewig Street after church was out. In the late 50s, the hotel business began to drop off. Motels were thought to be more convenient. Shopping in San Angelo spread beyond downtown. A drought dealt a severe blow to incomes, and the mission of Goodfellow Field changed after the war, diminishing the number of servicemen who needed rooms. The Moody's had spent very little on upkeep and modernizing of the building and saw no reason to invest in refurbishing it. Instead, in 1962, they decided to sell it at auction to the highest bidder, but no one met the $400,000 minimum bid. In the end, they gave it away to Taylor Henley to use as an expansion of Baptist Memorial's Geriatric Hospital in 1963. Throughout the 20 years that Baptist Memorials ran the Cactus, it served as a commercial hotel and a retirement center. Meeting rooms were still provided, dances and weddings continued in the ballroom, and a public dining room remained open. Despite its enduring popularity, the building was a financial burden. Maintenance was constant and expensive. The demands the building put on the Baptist Memorial's funds at times jeopardized their entire business. To make matters worse, a small fire broke out in a linen closet. The damage was minimal, no one was hurt, but the newspaper blew it out of proportion with a front-page article sensationalizing the entire event. Soon more stories were published about the building's fire code violations, resulting in a public outcry demanding renovations for the safety of the elderly. As a result, Baptist Memorials closed and relocated 151 of their elderly residents. A few months later, in September 1983, an investment group out of Austin, Texas named BW Alpha bought the Cactus. During renovations, members of the group began to disagree on the future plans of the finished building. After spending $700,000 on the lobby and mezzanine, one member withdrew while the remaining members opened the Heritage Club in 1985. The club offered elegant meals in the ballroom and parties in the mezzanine area. It was popular, but it didn't last long. Less than a year later, contract disagreements and the declining economy led to foreclosure of BW Alpha and consequently the club. No one stepped forward to make an offer on the Cactus for years, not even when it was offered for the sum of its back taxes. In August 1991, a 3-day public auction was held to liquidate the building and its contents. After the third day, there were still no bids on the hotel. Finally, in 1992, the First United Methodist Church paid $70,000 to the appraisal district to cover back taxes owed on the building and its parking garage. Its aim was to acquire the garage without the liability of the hotel. To accomplish this, the garage was deeded to the church and the hotel to the Historic City Center Project, a corporation created by Mr. A. Lee Pfluger to own the building. Since they have taken ownership, the Cactus has become a vibrant, lively, multi-use urban center once again. All the people who worked, played, performed, prayed, lectured, listened, ate, danced, sat, slept, and told stories at the Cactus were affected by this great building. There's every hope that the Cactus Hotel will remain a central part of the community of San Angelo. That grand old structure that tops the city skyline is still a part of our lives.